Hello everyone, I'm going to do this fun doodle in pen and ink. Would you like to join me? Come on then. All you have to do is grab a paper and any ink gel pen or any ink pen for that matter. Come on, let's get started. For the complete demo, do watch till the end. What I have done here is the paper that I have used is a simple cartridge paper, and I have used a waterproof ink gel pen of black color. You are free to use any ink pen which is comfortable for you. It has to be a fine pointed pen, that is all. Do not take a very thick pointed pen. What I am doing here is I am just gradually, randomly adding some shapes and lines. The vertical lines I started with simple dots and pulling them down, and now I'm just adding a sort of a circle in dots with dots around it thickly densed together or spaced apart at places. Around this circle I'm just at random drawing some horizontal and vertical lines spaced apart a little bit as if you are doing a sketch. And then at the bottom I'm adding a few horizontal lines starting with a dot and ending with a dot. That is just a simple style that I'm using. It doesn't have to be that way. It's just a simple style. You can surely adapt the same style, or you can even adapt your own, make your own. I'm just adding a few dots here and there which are either densely, closely drawn together or spaced apart, whichever way I want. I'm adding a few horizontal, slanting, oblique lines and making simple doodles. They don't have to be any specific shape or size, just whatever comes to your mind, you just have to put it down. Doodling is the same thing. It doesn't have to be very meaningful. Of course, you can do meaningful doodling, but it doesn't have to be all the time. At the bottom, I'm showing sort of stones with rendered with oblique lines here and there, just to create something interesting. Around the stones I'm adding some darker portions so that it looks a little interesting, and you also get a sort of a value sort of a sketch here and there, which also shows or indicates maybe the shadows of the stones. Now I'm adding a few branch-like lines here and there along with sort of graphic leaves. These are just doodles, they don't have to be in detail. They are random shapes. Doodles have to be necessarily random. You can have planned doodles, but this is absolutely unplanned. Whatever is coming to my mind at the spur of the moment is what I am putting down. Around the twigs or leaves, I am again adding a few circular forms with the use of the dots. The dots will have to be either closely arranged or spaced apart. Adding a few more lines, vertical and horizontal here and there, a few more dots here and there is all that I am doing. Whatever comes to your mind at the spur of the moment is what you are going to do. Again, I will add a few horizontal lines which are not equal in size, random lengths, a few dark patches here and there. Doodles are fun to do. Whatever comes to your mind at the spur of the moment is what you put down on paper. It can be just about anything. Just play with lines and shapes, and that is all. The shapes can be totally random, small and big, whatever, absolutely whatever that comes to your mind. It doesn't have to indicate any particular thing also. They can be just about anything. Like I said, this is totally an unplanned sketch or a doodle, and so it does not indicate anything at all. You can say it is meaningless, or you may find any particular object in it as per your perception. That is totally up to the viewer. In my mind, I have absolutely nothing. Right now, as I am doing it totally randomly. Just playing with shapes, lines, dots, horizontal lines, vertical lines, oblique lines, and that's all. Here, as I am doodling, I am just trying to add contrasts here and there. That is, darks against lights and lights against darks, just to add a bit of interest and texture to the whole doodle. Doodling is definitely fun to do, and at the same time, it can also be therapeutic, in the sense that at any time, at any point of time, if you're for any reason feeling low, and if you just grab a paper and pencil or a pen and start doodling and create these forms and textures, random forms and textures, they are definitely going to help you to a certain extent, bring you out of the low feelings. Try it out. I'm sure it will help you. At any point of time, if you are feeling low, just try this out as an exercise. It definitely helps to take our mind away from whatever the negativity that we may be feeling at the time, and it lifts our mind a little bit to a certain extent, definitely. And you do feel at least a little fresher than you were feeling before. Just try it out and let me know in the comments below if you ever try this out and if it ever helps you. I will definitely like to hear about it. As you can see, I'm using the same simple lines and dots to create shapes and patterns here and there, and arranging them in such a way that they may look interesting. As you can see, they can also create sort of a composition, and it starts looking like a scenery almost in this case. Of course, it doesn't have to be that way always. Like I said, doodling can be random, totally random, without creating any sort of a scene or landscape or any meaningful form or anything for that matter. It can be just about totally random and totally meaningless too. But here, as and how I'm going along, it has sort of turned out to imitate sort of an abstract landscape. Don't you think so? Do let me know in the comments below. I am repeating a few patterns here and there, as repetition is always good in art. It makes for a good composition. Although this was unplanned, as I am going along doing the doodling, I am sort of automatically creating a composition, although I am unaware about it as I am doing it. It comes automatically. As you do these things often, these things come automatically to you. As you can see, I'm using the same forms here and there and repeating the same similar patterns here and there. but they are creating a sort of an interesting graphic all along. Doodling is sort of a graphic art, sort of a totally random graphic art, comprising of various lines and shapes and forms, which can be at times abstract, totally abstract, or they can be decorative, or at times they can even be realistic, but more so graphic, decorative and abstract. As you can see here, although this whole doodle was unplanned, as along it has turned out to be representing some sort of a graphic landscape, I would say, an abstract landscape, something bordering between abstract and decorative. Although none of it is exactly identifiable to any landscape that we actually see in nature, but yes, maybe you can say that you are seeing some forms of leaves here and there, some forms of rocks here and there, but otherwise it is absolutely and totally random. And yet it has turned out to be interesting because of the juxtapositions of various shapes and the darks and lights playing against each other, as in the value studies that we normally do in our art exercises. I'm just adding a few dots here and there, just as fillers if everything is looking empty here and there. And that's the fun of it. That's the fun of doodling. You can do absolutely anything that comes to your mind at any point of time. So that's it. I hope you all enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed doing this doodle all along. I hope you will take this up and do this as an exercise and enjoy doing it yourself too. Do let me know in the comments how you liked the video and whether you enjoyed doing it yourself too. If you liked the video, do like, subscribe and share, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notifications of future videos. Also click on the end screens above so that you can watch other videos too. See you in the next video.